What is something free from the internet, which everyone should take advantage of? Wolfram Alpha. IDK if it's already been said, but Wolfram Alpha was a lifesaver for checking answers when taking Calc 1 2 3 in college. Definitely useful for all sorts of answers, but answers for science and math questions, it's great. Wolfram's new integration with Excel is an absolute game changer. Excel is quickly becoming the best life management tool out there. Intriguing. Please detail a bit more how you're using that integration. I use the new chemistry data types all the time at work to estimate titration endpoints and develop testing models. That is the one I have the most experience with so far. The astronomy data types are cool just to mess around with. The health and fitness data types have been great for cooking because I can see the nutritional information of all the ingredients I use in a meal and the final outcome. You can even account for lost calories from rendered out fats. Gym program is tied to the fitness type, where I have it randomized between different exercises for upper/lower days to keep things interesting. Unrelated to Wolfram, the account connection tools have been great for finance tracking. I can link my bank accounts, investment accounts, and credit cards right to the spreadsheet and see when bills are due and budget. I already used Excel heavy for personal finance tracking, but these new features just turned it into the one-stop shop. Google Scholar. If you type that in and then look up anything you want, the results are all scholarly work. If you type in volcanoes, you will get an absolute ton of scientific documents about volcanoes, any research that is being done on them, any papers that have been written about them, and any data you might want is there. Next time you write a paper for a science class, check out Google Scholar. And then see Hub. All you do is type the DOI of your chosen research paper and you get a free, although not quite legal, PDF. Perfect if you don't have access to a particular library. Just to tie in an LPT I've seen kicking around, if you email some of the paper's authors, they'll probably send you a PDF for free. They're allowed to distribute their own work directly, just not en masse. Slightly controversial, but Library Genesis. Almost every science textbook you could ever want for free. However, you're not compensating authors/publishers for their work, so the morality is debated. But if you want access to knowledge for free, there it is. I haven't ever encountered any issues like viruses either. Hi, published scientist here. Even through textbooks, we don't make any money off of that. We get our money directly from research grants. Oftentimes, through universities we are working at. Uni pays us X dollars under the understanding we will be filling out and filing for tons of grants. Grants pay us to do specific research we are skilled in. They reap the rewards, fame, usefulness, ECT, and we get credit for the discovery and an attaboy. I have a published article through my research with plants and medicine. It's published in the Omega Scientific Journal, but I'm not doxing myself, so that's as far as I'll admit to it. Anyhow, you the viewer would have to pay to see the full article in some instances. However, neither me or my colleagues see even 1 penny of it. That's all on the publishers. We are not bothered one bit by you having gotten the articles somehow for free. Most of us want to share our work as much as possible. We are huge nerds. I've heard that. Glad to have it confirmed. Well, not glad you don't get money out of it. I've also heard some people who contribute to textbooks will send the PDF for free if someone requests it from them. Is that something you've seen done? Wikipedia. We take that site for granted, big time. There are few things in this world that do not have a Wikipedia page. People have dedicated hours, days, even their entire lives to filling the site up with all the knowledge one could ever need. All that information is free. Want to learn about the history of the escalator? Wikipedia has it. Interested in the Civil War? You bet you can find it on Wikipedia. Wikipedia will not be around forever, folks. Use it while you have it. Read random articles. It's fun. IDKY teachers hate Wikipedia so much. They had no issues with me citing an encyclopedia, but if it was from the internet it must have been written by the devil himself. There was a time when Wikipedia wasn't nearly as reliable as it is now, and inaccurate edits would go unnoticed for way longer than they should. My history teacher senior year, 2003 to 2004, got asked why we couldn't use Wikipedia as a reference, and he proved his point by changing the wiki for Alexander the Great to see how long it took to get fixed. It took months. It's obviously way better now, but a lot of people already learned to be wary of it. My college professors told us to absolutely use Wikipedia. Namely, it works to get a first idea of the subject, and then read the sources cited at the bottom. Then check their sources and read them as well. Bam, just like that you have like 20 to 50 actually reliable sources, depending on the subject. Free open source software. There are great free alternatives out there for lots of paid software. Many of the free Linux operating systems can be put on a USB stick and run on a computer off of the stick, so you can try stuff out without touching anything on your existing hard drive. Can also install from that, if you like it. Back up your critical data well before installing any OS. Tons of free software for Office, word processing, spreadsheet, presentations, drawing, etc. 3D modeling/rendering, Blender, video editing, DaVinci Resolve, etc. I would like to add that Linux can breathe new life into an older computer, turning a slow PC bogged down with Windows into a smoother running, faster PC. I use a pen/tablet for drawing on my PC with Windows 10. I got so fed up trying to configure it with Windows and then not having it work properly. I switched to Linux and GIMP and it all works so smooth now that I fully installed Linux and deleted Windows. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not worried about that aspect, otherwise it has everything I need, and for free. My gaming PC runs Linux, and I can play basically everything I want. With Valve's Proton compatibility tool, based on Wine, I can run Windows games on Linux. I've been using Linux exclusively on all my computers since 2014, and I don't plan on going back to Windows anytime soon. Use multiple accounts on apps for fast food stores to get a bunch of free food. I used to do it loads and give the food to homeless people. Even the poorest people could do it with the worst smartphones. I know to us a free £1 pastry or some chicken wings don't sound like much, but some people have it way worse, and it could literally be a lifesaver. How would that work? I don't know. If you have it in the US, I'm pretty sure you do, but here in the UK, if you downloaded a app for a fast food place and made a account, you got a free item. For example, in McDonald's you got a free cheeseburger, in KFC free chicken wings, etc, etc. And most of the time the workers don't care. I literally sat in McDonald's once making new accounts on the app and ordering burgers, and they just gave them to me. For me it wasn't anything special because I'm lucky and I can afford a burger no problem, but for some people even a free burger could be a lifesaver. I live in Vienna and here it doesn't work like that. You'll maybe get a voucher, but certainly not free food. Voucher is cool too, don't get me wrong. Just wanted to say that you can't get free food anywhere. Unlimited access to almost the entire human knowledge. Back when the internet wasn't a thing yet, side note, F***K, I'm getting old, we had to go get a book from somewhere to get even a remote idea about a topic that we were interested in. Today, even very specific information about almost anything, no matter how niche the topic is available to us via a device we carry with us all day long. And what do we use it for? Arguing with strangers, looking at memes, and to be fair, we had to go get the same way pre-net. You know what, you're right. I didn't even think of that. Back before the web we used card catalogs and libraries. And above all, we talked to one another. I also remember calling up the New York Library and just asking questions. The librarian on duty would literally research the question and get back to me. And don't forget, there was a dark age where, if you had a question you couldn't find an answer to, you just walked around not knowing the answer. And even worse, you had the uncle that would give you a made up answer and you walked around spreading misinformation. Oh yeah, a pint is a pound the world round. Richard J. stuck a gerbil up his information. The amount of cars, appliances, computers, gardening and house repairs I have done with a couple of YouTube videos is amazing. I fixed my shower myself, including using 2 shark bites and installing new handles/guts. My plumber friend was shocked. Thanks YouTube, I rent and it kept my landlord from seeing my pandemic-induced clutter that I've now fixed. I wish this was higher. Anyone with access to the internet and a basic set of tools can save themselves tens of thousands of dollars fixing their own stuff. I'm handy, but I always tell people that a massive amount of stuff that I know how to do was knowledge that was passed down to me through the internet. For free. All the free classes you can take. There are dozens of free MIT classes that actually give you a cert for passing. It may not be much, but putting multiple MIT certificates on a resume is great. Also, just the amount of knowledge in general on the internet. There isn't really an excuse for not knowing how to do basic things when you can find 100 YouTube videos about those things. Don't know how to change a tire? There is a 60-second YouTube video that will get you up to speed. Don't know how to cook? Gordon Ramsay will teach you for free on his YouTube. Ever wonder why the sky is blue? Internet will explain it to you at whatever level you need. Even advanced topics like quantum entanglement have low-level videos to get you the concepts. There isn't really an excuse to not know something after you realize you don't know it. Workout videos. There are thousands and lots of different styles. If you are nervous about going to the gym, video. If you can't afford a gym, video. If you're unsure what to do, but no moving would help you feel better, that's right, ladies and gents, video. I have a master's in exercise science and I regularly use YouTube workouts because they are fun, quick, and can be done at home. Any good channels you recommend? Definitely. Sarah Beth Yoga is my favorite for yoga. She has a no-nonsense consistent style. Cosmic Kids is best for kids, and she comes up with little stories to go with the moves. Yoga with Tim and Yoga with Adrienne are also popular. Blodgelet's is excellent for quick body weight strength training. She can absolutely kick your in 5 minutes. Zumba Sulu is my favorite for dance-based workouts. He brings an energy to his videos that makes you forget you're dancing in your living room and not in a studio. Pop Sugar Fitness is also good for this. Things like P90X and Insanity are also super good, but not free. You can probably pick up old videos on eBay and stuff. Don't feel like you need to pay full price for new, because it's crazy expensive. Those are my go-tos. Anyone who sees this feel free to add more. I always want to try new ones. Knowledge. We have come to a point in our lives where everything is a Google search away. You need to know some food recipes, how to fix something, how to do something, and even learn trade skills that you could use for getting a job or ways to invest or start your own business. So many opportunities and everything is just out there. But instead we choose to just look at memes, funny videos of people beating each other up, listen to music, and watch other videos that don't help us at all. Well, if you enjoyed the time you wasted, perhaps it wasn't a waste of time. I feel like any downtime is considered a waste because you could be doing so much work with that time. But we all need time to relax, rest, and recharge. No one can be running at full capacity 24/7 without eventually slipping into total insanity. Ubisoft Go Steam works bye always on DRM. You're right, but I still think we are being pushed to spend our time looking at cute dogs and dumb memes instead of noticing the big government or learning how to get it out of there. Need some textbooks? Chances Artworks has it. Here's a brief explanation of the website. It's a Russian website, so it takes a while to navigate, but before you can download, you need to make an account first. Upon making your first account, you will have 100 points in your account. These points will be deducted depending on which textbook you download, where most textbooks cost around 10 points each, meaning you can download 10 books per account. To receive points, you can upload a scanned PDF of a textbook, and if someone downloaded your file, you receive 5 points. This means that every time someone downloads your files twice, you get to download another book. Currently they have over 2.5 million plus files, so there is a huge chance that whatever textbook you are looking for is in their website. Educational materials. YouTube, Wikipedia, plenty of places to research and learn. A lot of places even offer free college courses. After I graduated high school and had decent internet access, I spent several years just learning and expanding myself online with and without college classes. If you have decent internet access, there's no excuse for not learning and growing. Which is what makes people getting dumber so maddening. Maybe it's partially because I'm a teacher, but it irritates me so bad when people actively choose ignorance when the answers to so many things are in their pocket and take maybe 5 minutes of reading. Hell, I know someone that thinks the earth has 2 moons and you can't convince him otherwise. Knowledge. You can't get a free college degree, but you can acquire all of the knowledge of any degree you want. You can't acquire a free industry recognized certification, but you can find all of the relevant study material and just pay for the exam. There are millions of hours of free instructor-led videos on YouTube, Udemy, and other education-based video distribution sites that are objectively better led than many college courses I've sat through. The right $200 to $500 certification could lead to doubling your income, getting you out of that crap job you hate, or off the construction site, whatever, and into a forward-facing career in it, healthcare, advertising, whatever you actually want to do, not just whatever job you fell into out of high school. I've taken and passed around a dozen certs over the years, increasingly based solely on online video courses. Mostly free, some heavily discounted down to $10. For $200 to $750 exams, netting me certifications that led to me literally tripling my income from a decade ago. And my income a decade ago wasn't total. Not a brag, just don't understand why more people artificially create barriers in their minds. I don't have the money or time for all that training. Have you seen tuition costs? Those jobs are for smarter people whose parents put them through college. College. Barriers to people that weren't born in the right zip code, not just holding them back, but convincing them to hold themselves back. I've come from that mindset. I know how easy it is to let society trick you into thinking that the fancy BMW driving, weekends at the beach house, vacations abroad life was never meant for people like me. And anyone that tells you differently. It takes work. A ton more for some than others, but it doesn't have to also cost a fortune. Not to completely on college, there are programs like Western Governors University that are pretty awesome. With the right work ethic, time dedication, and a good study plan, people are knocking out undergrads in 2 6-month terms, around $8,000, and masters in 1. That's nothing to masters in a year and a half for under $13,000. Bonus, depending on the degree, you're also walking out with a laundry list of industry relevant certifications. Win-win. The one I personally always use is Library Genesis for free ebooks. For free audiobooks, I would sign up for New York Public Library Online. They have massive book catalog. If you're non-residents, they give you a card, but will last for 30 days. Then download the app Libby, add your library card and you can borrow audiobooks and ebooks for free. It's a library, so there are some books you have to wait for. I register a few other libraries in the US and have 3 to 4 cards. So I can browse when one library don't have the book I wanted and borrow from the library that I have less people holding. If the card's expiry, I would sign up for a new one. I know it sounds like a hassle, but I love reading, and I can't afford to buy a lot of books. So I'll just borrow from libraries. I would listen to the audiobook with 2x speed and read the ebook at the same time, to focus on the content. I read non-fiction. So if you hear statements, for example, Bill Gates read a book a day. It's possible. Hope this tips help you. Anything free and educational. There are loads of YouTube channels that provide free educational videos that are also entertaining. Any of those online courses/lectures, while only free on a trial basis, they are still pretty handy. Skillshare is an example. Then there's recorded university and college classes and lectures. They're out there, but the really good ones can be hard to find because the university and colleges like to shut such sites down. They claim copyright infringement, theft, etc. But FKM. Knowledge and education shouldn't be hoarded or owned like that. YouTube's courses. You can find pretty much anything there. As a child I thought I was quite useless and always compared myself with my friends, who were all better than me. But learning how to code and just having fun making games in Unity is honestly the best thing to ever happen to me. I feel more useful and feel like I can do something with stuff I have done. If you have a problem, just Google it. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of people just don't know what Google is actually capable of and hence ignore it. The internet itself. I read a story once that goes something like this. A professor asks his students, if a man from the 1950s were to travel from his time to our modern day, what do you think would be the hardest thing to explain to him? The answers from the students are numerous. Some say computer, others say AI or flat screen TV. The teacher shakes his head and says, the hardest thing to explain to that man is that each and every one of us own a device that could fit into our pocket, which allows us to access nearly the total sum of human knowledge, and we use it to look at funny photos and argue with strangers. Back in the days, the only way to look for information you want was to go to library and find books on that subjects. Learning was so limited and slow. Yet today, we could have any information on anything we want in matter of seconds, something people only dreamed of in the past. We could learn new information, new skills, and generally improve ourselves. What we have now, every great minds in history have craved, yet we are barely using 1% of it, and even then, we only use it for trivial entertainment. It is sad that most people don't even care about utilizing such an awesome device of human ingenuity. Ever wanted to be an amateur meteorologist? This site is amazing if you're in the US/Canada, especially if you're a visual person. Just click a weather model on top, select your region, click your preferred weather product on the left, and use the slider to see the forecast over time. I just feel like this site is amazingly well polished for something that's completely free to the public. I've had a lot of fun with it and also learned quite a bit in the process. Edit. If you run a mobile version of Reddit, make sure you select open in browser, otherwise it may display incorrectly. Edit 2. Also, if you go to the main page, you can view other free stuff, like near real-time animated satellite imagery of the clouds in your region, with multiple different filters. It's cool AF. I seriously have no clue how it's all free. Free and open source chess website and app that is run entirely on donations, no ads or paid features, that has basically all the features of the paid competition. You can play chess and various chess variants online against others or the computer, do chess puzzles, practice with various lessons, analyze your games using the Stockfish chess engine, take part in tournaments, watch others play, use their library of previous games to study, and much more. And all of that is available 100% for free forever with no strings attached. If you choose to donate, you get a little badge on your profile and that's it. They are registered as a charity in France and are fully transparent regarding their operating costs, so you can see exactly where the money goes. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed watching this, you might as well watch these too.